right, sir, if you could just stand there for me, please. You understand you're under arrest for assault, do you? I want you to bring your hands back so the backs of your hands are together. I want you to lean forward slightly at the waist and continue to look off to the left.
She's my wife, officer.
No, I understand she's your wife, sir. But there's been an allegation of assault that has to be investigated. We're going to go up to the station and do that. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but...
Okay. I'm going to have to say something else. It's my duty to inform you of the right to retain and instruct counsel without delay. It means you can call a lawyer. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but...
If you're charged with offense, you may apply to the Ontario Legal Aid Plan for legal assistance. Do you understand that? I'll continue giving you your rights once you're in the car. What I want you to do first is sit down and then bring your legs inside. Okay?
It's a very painful subject. It's a subject in which my community has to come in terms with.
Unfortunately, once the criminal process is instituted, criminal process has its own limitation. It must go through a certain process. No one would interfere to break that process. Individual initiative is eliminated. There are certain criteria, that certain processes, the certain steps that must go through. At that time, any personal intervention is almost totally eliminated. That is the fault of the criminal system.
I think when the abuse happens in a marriage or in a family, that abuse erects certain walls. You know, there is a wall of anger, there is a wall of resentment, there is a wall of bitterness, there is a wall of stigma in the community. And I think as a therapist, one of the hopes is that these walls will come down and there will be some bridges. The bridges of understanding, the bridges of respect, the bridges of compassion.
There are many ways that not only the Denise House but other shelters can assist women. So I would just simply encourage women to make those calls to find out what other ways the shelter can assist aside from her actually coming and residing in the shelter.
We have to raise our children with the consciousness of non-violence.
I loved him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But before marriage, the Farooq was someone else. And after marriage, he was and he is a completely different person. Before he was very caring, very loving. He was always there when I'm in trouble. But after marriage, he just got rejected. He used to reject everything of mine which I say. I'm always wrong, he's always right. And the typical husband relationship came on top of love. I was 100% sure that he will give me the best life. Whatever I have suffered in past, God has given